Channel Japan. I'm Mai Demizu.
And I'm Makiko Tsuda.
Every week, we bring you the freshest information out of Japan from our studio here in Tokyo.
From the economy and culture and even food, if you want to find out what's happening in Japan right now, this is where you'll find it.
Today, we'll be covering these topics. First up is Executive Insight, in which we speak with the executive of Japan's leading companies. So, Utsuda-san, who do we have today?
Well, today we'll be hearing from the head of Toto, which is a well-known name in Japanese households.
Yes.
It's a company that makes a wide range of sanitary ceramicware, such as toilet bowls and bathroom sinks.
I also know that Toto makes washlet, bidet-type toilets that automatically flush. Well, I've heard that tourists who comes from overseas are quite impressed and surprised when they first come across them. But in Japan, it's almost a standard, right?
I think so.
So you can find them in restaurants and office buildings and a lot of homes nowadays.
Nearly everywhere. And they say the nationwide adoption rate of electric bidet toilets is over 70%. I have a graph here showing the rate. And compared to the adoption rate for air conditioners, it's nearing these. And home furnishing, which includes products such as these, is quite a volatile industry.
Would you explain for us?
Yes, I have a graph here that shows the number of housing starts in Japan. And although there's been a slight improvement recently compared to several years ago, you can see the market is quite sluggish.
Right.
So this is one of the challenges that Toto faces as it tries to increase profitability. And we spoke to the company president, Kunio Harimoto, to ask about their strategy. So, take a look.
Executive Insight. Visitors to Japan may frequently come across toilets like this during their stay. To the side are numerous buttons. Pushing on this will release a nozzle for cleaning. But the timing is crucial. What do tourists from overseas think?
I really like them. I don't know, like a step into the future kind of thing.
We've had issues where, it's always hard to figure out which button is the flush button, and so then you get a surprise shower. Or one time I accidentally pressed the emergency button, and then alarms went off and people ran, but it all got sorted out.
They're amazing, and it's always kind of frustrating when you go back to, I'm from the United States, it's frustrating to go back home and to not have this kind of toilets there.
Well, I mean, if you're staying in hotels in the States, even 5-star hotels, you don't get toilets like this. I mean, it's very unique.
In Japan, toilets are undergoing a unique evolution. The advanced technologies behind them are the biggest feature. The industry leader with annual sales of nearly $4.8 billion is Toto. They have just one rival in the domestic market. Globally, Toto is ranked 4th by sales. We recently spoke with the president, Kunio Harimoto.
Toilets are something we use every day without really thinking about them. And most of us probably wouldn't be able to distinguish products of different manufacturers. So, given this, what do you believe are the characteristics of Toto?
Toilets in Japan have evolved from simple latrines to Western-style ones to washlets. Toto has been behind each transformation. If you look over here, this depression is the passageway for the water. It's covered by ceramic. That's how we make them. Many people are surprised, but toilet bowls are a product that's lined with clay. We combine 4 or 5 pieces. There aren't many companies in the world that go to the lengths we do.
To see toilet making in progress, we visited their main factory in Kokura, Kitokyushu. While advanced technologies such as automatic flushing are the biggest features, most of the work is still done by hand. The clay is shaped with a mold and workers carefully apply each layer. The material is ceramic. The process is similar to pottery. Once dried, a glaze is applied and they're baked in a furnace. These models show the process. From the left, the pre-baked toilet after drying, and the final product. In fact, baking shrinks the size by 13%. Before baking, they're carefully checked with a light for tiny cracks. And on another floor,
ここは何をやってる工程になりますか？
はい、こちらは窯になります。ご覧いただけますか。一番左手の奥が入り口になっておりまして、こちらの真反対右手側が、窯の出口になります。
Products slowly slide through the 115-meter-long furnace. They are baked in over 1,000-degree heat for 24 hours. Then they're checked here.
外からは見えない内部のクラックを音で判断している検査。
どういう音がするとダメなんですか？
低い音がすると内部にクラックがあるということで判別します。
その音は誰でも聞き分けられるの？
いえ、ある程度の、教育と試験に合格した人だけが人間計算員として検査を行っていますので、私は分かりません。
The products are checked by listening to sounds that can only be distinguished by experienced technicians. For example, these are products that have been found defective. At first glance, there doesn't seem to be anything wrong, but they say the color is slightly off.
What is most important for the Toto brand?
Quality and technique. These two things. Technique is necessary to make a good design. The most important aspect is to continue developing techniques that impress customers. The other aspect is to never put questionable products on the market. In Japan and abroad, we check each and every product. That's how we guarantee that there are no mistakes in the products we offer customers. These are things we should never change. That forms the basis of how we protect our brand.
Toto was founded a century ago. Formerly called Oriental Ceramics in Japanese, the company has been focused on the Asian market from the start. At headquarters are some of the products they used to manufacture.
これは豊臣時代に作りました私どもの食器でございます。
The rounded shapes and bright colors are said to have been the work of skilled craftsmen.
もともとはこういった食器を作ってた陶磁器のその生産技術といいましょうか、そういったものを応用しながら出来上がってるんですね。衛生陶器の場合は食器と違いましてかなり大きいものですから、苦労はしましたけども、でもそのベースになっているのは食器を作ってたそういった陶器の成形技術、製造技術なんですね。
Toto no longer deals in dishware, but they have carried on that corporate culture through the continual evolution of wash basins, bathtubs, and toilets. And in 1980, the company developed the first automatic flushing toilet in Japan, called Washlet. It was a high-tech product combining water and electricity. With an automatic nozzle for cleansing, it was a dramatic improvement in toilet convenience. And in their latest model, the spraying function has been enhanced, with water sprayed over a wider area.
Take a look at this.
The suction strength of the motor to turn the water has also been improved. They adopted what's called a tornado flushing method.
Ah, the water is swirling.
This method allows the bowl to be thoroughly cleaned with little water. Compared to before, water usage is cut by 70% to 3.8 liters. Toto has been working to maximize such water-saving features.
The voices of customers provide us with hints as to how much the technology should evolve. We pour an almost wasteful amount of money into R&D, especially considering the industry we're in. It's about 2% of sales. It's not a question of what next-generation technology to put into place, but making sure that we're always on the cutting edge. Our business is about making a product that satisfies the new demands of customers. It's a continuous challenge.
Last year, the company developed a liquid to clean toilet bowls. Regular tap water is subjected to electricity, transforming it into a substance that aids in sterilization. Spraying this on helps break down hard-to-see grime and bacteria. It reverts to regular water over time, and because no chemicals are used, it's considered non-hazardous. Such unrelenting R&D efforts are to ensure they don't miss out on any business opportunities.
I came up with an estimate that customers only replace their toilets once every 40 years. Most people only replace their toilets when they rebuild or renovate their homes. That's why I say business opportunities come along just once in several decades. So we need to get customers to come to our showroom and surprise them when they compare their current toilets to the latest ones. That's definitely our biggest business opportunity.
In November 2012, Toto opened a massive 3,700 square meter showroom in Tokyo. Their main target is people who are thinking of renovating their homes. In Japan, the population decline has dampened new home construction. More toilets have been installed in renovated homes than new ones. 10 years ago, Mr. Harimoto was told by the then president to oversee the renovation business.
I understand you were personally involved in jump-starting the renovation business from the outset. So did you foresee that it would become so big?
At the time, I thought there was no way I was going to be involved in this. It was the peak of the housing boom with 1.9 million homes being built annually. Being told to work in the renovation business then seemed like a dead end. That was the first thought that went through my head when I was appointed.
How did you build it up from there?
I'm the type of person that can't do anything without supporting data and numbers. At the time, no such statistics were available in Japan. So I spent about 3 months collecting data on home renovations. The conclusion I came to was that the market was unmistakably poised to shift from new homes to renovations. After that, I went to work on changing the perspective of the entire company.
At the same time, the company has continued to push into overseas markets, particularly in Asia, where it operates 10 group companies. However, toilets are cultural in nature. For example, in Southeast Asia, there are various shapes. Simply exporting Japanese toilets wasn't an option.
The concept of toilets is different in each country. Design preferences are different as well. Getting local people to adopt a certain toilet is not possible for a Japanese to do. People who understand the local culture need to design and make it themselves. Otherwise, you'll fail to make it abroad.
This is footage of an industry exhibition in China. Manufacturers from around the world are pouring into this fast-growing market. Toto is also expanding production facilities and showrooms in the country. Targeting wealthy consumers in particular, they promote high-end washlets and other products.
Take toilets, for example. We have something we like to call the core engine, which flushes out waste using as little water as possible. I believe Japan is the most advanced in this area. We are planning to take this to markets overseas. We'll install that engine and do the design locally. It's a similar concept to cars. The engines are continually improved in Japan and then localized in specific markets.
Mr. Harimoto doesn't set boundaries between the Japanese and overseas markets. He says that's part of the company culture.
We were originally founded as the Oriental Ceramics Company and have always looked to Asia. My predecessors tried to venture out with products that weren't even selling well in Japan. I just happened to be the president of Toto in Japan, but I'm constantly looking at the global market.
Traditional,
Consistent,
precise,
speedy,
professional, innovative,
polite. Quality from Japan, the best of business in Asia. SMBC, Sumitomo Mitsui Banking Corporation.
How do we build sustainability into our relationship with Mother Earth? That's Kaiteki, Mitsubishi Chemical Holdings.
Mitsui & Company.
Where we see nothing, there could be anything. Panasonic is putting the endless energy of the sun to work. Generating, storing, and managing energy efficiently. Helping power our daily lives.
Panasonic.
Asia, the engine of the global economy. Japan, a regional powerhouse. And now, direct from Japan, economic news with a global impact in Chinese and English, delivered by Nikkei. Read the future, lead the economy. Nikkei, Japan's leading media for business.
You're watching Channel Japan. Next, we'll be showing you episodes from popular Japanese economics program. Today, it's from TV Tokyo's World Business Satellites. So, Utsuda-san, what's the topic today?
Yes, the topic is bartering, or the exchange of goods. Exchanging one necessity for another has long been the basis of human societies, and you could say the origin of economic activity. And now there are some modern businesses that are bringing back this old-fashioned system. So, take a look.
This is an IT startup based in Roppongi, Tokyo.
次のデートの日っていう風な情報もそこに入ってくるんだよね。
だからデートの日付もあるし、きっかけもあるから。
This is a business meeting to discuss new functions of a smartphone application.
それは全然わかる。それはわかるんだけども、そこのさ。
They developed an application called Pairly, which allows couples to communicate. Toshimasa Takahashi left his job at a major advertising company and launched a new venture with 5 others last summer. The employees are all in their 20s. Heading out for a late lunch, they arrive at a restaurant about a 5-minute walk away. They all take out something. Small slips of paper with numbers on them.
サロンステーキと、あとシュパーズパイランチ。はい。はい。お願いします。
They hand them to the waiter.
こちらでですね、1枚につきランチメニューを1品と交換という形で、お店のホームページを作ってもらう代わりにまかないを僕らが作ってあげるっていう。
This barter trade of building a website in exchange for food is part of what's called the Makanai Project. The restaurant provides 30 tickets each to 5 employees every month for half a year. That comes up to about 900 meals. In dollar terms, it's equivalent to about $3,500, the same as the cost of building a website.
お金を返さないところで何かそういうコミュニケーションを生むことができたら、お互いなんかもうちょっともっとこうしてあげようとか思いやりの部分が働いて、すごくいい循環が生まれるんじゃないかなっていうふうに思ってます。
After lunch, they discussed the website with the restaurant president.
なんか飲食店ってどんな会社が運営しているっていうよりはどんな人たちが働いてるんだろうか興味ありません？だからそういうのが伝わるようなホームページの方がいいなっていう。
じゃあそれこそ社長さんのキャラクター一人
僕のキャラはいいじゃないですか。
でもそこでいいキャラがあって飛べるように。
Mr. Takahashi believes there are big possibilities in the bartering of IT services for food.
そうですね。はい。
僕らも最初なんか潰れてほしくない近くの定食屋とかあったりもすると思うんで、そういったところとかにホームページを作ってあげてみたいな形とかが生まれてきたら、それはそれでいいことだと思いますし、そういうつながりができれば面白いなとは思ってます。
The exchange of technical expertise for things other than money is a growing trend. This design company, run by Tsukito Fujita, works on local advertisements. They will accept part of the payment for ad designs in actual goods.
メールなし確定って何ですかね？
なんで？
メールなし確定。
For example, in exchange for designing a shopping card, they've received a lamp as payment. When faced with doing work for free or turning it down completely, they came up with the idea of bartering.
デザインと物の交換っていうのを、組み合わせるともっと仕事を断らずに済むんじゃないかなっていう。
Right now, he's working on a map with caricatures of store staff. Until now, they charged about $10 for each drawing. But to attract more stores, they started proposing a barter system. He's about to visit some stores to start exchanging caricatures for goods.
こんにちは。
He first heads to a tofu shop.
ですね、似顔絵ができたので、ちょっと確認をしていただきたいんですけど、
これですね。ありがとうございます。
いいですかね、このざるに。じゃあ、交換の品を。
ちょっとお店にあるものばっかりなんですけど、こんな感じで。
すごい、豆腐。
He gets an assortment of tofu as payment.
生姜が入ってるんですよ、この豆腐。
珍しい。
できたらね、美味しく何か食べていただきたいなっていうのがあったので、美味しいなと思われるやつをこう考えながら詰めるんで、またそれも楽しいですよね。はい。
From this flower shop, he gets a potted Indian laurel. And from a dishware shop, a small bowl.
物でいいということだったので、物は売るほどございますので、はい。で、お願いしようかなと思いました。はい。
At a spa, he's handed
こんにちは。どうもどうも。
lip cream.
リップクリームとか使われるんですか？
使ったことないです。
でも冬は結構男性でもね、荒れるので。
Getting products that you wouldn't go out and buy yourself is also part of the fun of bartering.
何が来るかわからないっていう楽しみが一つあるのと、交換したことによってそのお店だったり、人だったり、そういうものを知ることができて、でまた、広めることもできるんじゃないかなっていう、それが楽しみですね。
After bartering with 11 shops, this is his haul. Some of the items are worth over $10.
お金をもらってしまうと、もうそれで別に悪いとは思わないですけど、それで、お金いただいて終わりだと思うんですけど、こうやって物をいただくとまた新しくつながりが出てくるんじゃないかなという意味で、お金以外の価値がすごくあったんじゃないかなと思います。
There are now moves to expand barter trades between individuals. This man is using his iPhone during a break from work. He's looking at something called Watashi no Kura, meaning my treasure house. Started in January, this iPhone application allows users to upload pictures of their belongings to exchange or sell them.
オークションサイトとかだとよくわからない人と物のやり取りが行われると思うんですけど、このアプリを使えば限られたメンバーだけで物のやり取りができるので。
For example, it's possible to easily exchange goods with people within your circle of friends on Facebook. The developer, Office Busters, mainly deals in used office furniture. They say this application was created with the aim of promoting its main business.
リユース率を高めて中古に対するイメージを変えることができるんじゃないかなっていうところが最初のスタートでしたね。出品されたけれども行き場のないアイテムたちっていうのを我々が買い取るだとかしてそこで新しい流通を作るっていうのも将来的には十分考えられるかな。
Bartering, an old but new business style. Will cashless transactions become the new black?
またゆっくりします。
はい。ゆっくりしてください。
ありがとうございます。では。
Well, Utsuda-san, when I hear a word bartering, I'm reminded of the Japanese children's story called Warashibe Choja, or A Straw Millionaire.
I was too. I have the story over here, the storybook. It's a very well-known story in Japan, and just to give our viewers a summary, there was a man with no possessions who prayed to the goddess of Kannon. Yes. And he prays, and the goddess tells him to pick up the first thing he sees in the morning and go on a journey. So he wakes up the next day, and the first thing he grabs is a piece of straw.
Right.
and he goes on a journey, and he exchanges the straw with somebody who's in need of it. And as he keeps on exchanging things to help people, that is, and continues on a journey, and to make a long story short, after the long journey, he ends up exchanging what he possessed with a big house, and he lives happily ever after. So it's quite a jump, but it just shows how you can keep on exchanging things to help people. A happy story.
Well, it's a common story in Japan, and something like this story really happened in real life. Well, I've heard that there's a band of musicians who used similar bartering methods to obtain fishing boat, which they sent to the regions which was devastated by earthquakes and tsunami in 2011.
You're right, it's an interesting story. Now, this is the CD of the band. They're called Nana Karatto, and they started out with just this one CD. So that's the music, and what they did was, it was a year after the disaster, and they learned that many fishing boats were needed in the region, since they were washed away by the tsunami. So they came up with the idea of bartering goods to see if they could actually get their hands on a fishing boat. The CD was exchanged for a second-hand computer, and then diamond necklace, and so on, until they finally met a man who owned a fishing boat, and they successfully got this man to exchange his boat, which was sent to fishermen in Otsuchi Iwate Prefecture.
Wow, nice story. So bartering sort of like makes connection among people.
You could say that.
Right. Well, our next topic is a new initiative to turn idle hours at a shop into a business opportunity.
9 a.m. In this kitchen, a cook is busy grilling a specialty of Sendai, beef tongue. These thick slices are a trademark of nationwide restaurant chain Gyuton Rikyu. They will be served in lunchboxes delivered to customers. Until recently, the kitchen was only open for lunch between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m., and for dinner between 5 p.m. and 11 p.m. But now they've started using the spare time to make delivery lunchboxes, tapping into a new opportunity.
眠ってる時間がこう掘り起こされたような形で500食600食一番ピークは本当1000食ぐらいですね、量を作らせていただいて
A kitchen that utilizes downtime. Since starting the service in June 2012, their monthly sales have increased to over $200,000, with their main restaurant business also up 50%. The orders for delivery lunchboxes aren't actually taken by the restaurant itself. The company behind the service is... Gochikuru is a lunchbox delivery service for group customers. They have tie-ups with about 120 eating establishments, including popular Italian restaurants and famous sushi shops. They also offer low-priced lunchboxes starting from about $4. The best-selling fare costs around $14. They have over 3,600 items on the menu. The service is run by a startup called Star Festival, set up in 2009.
ランチタイム以降、もしくは、ランチ前の時間よりさらに前の時間とかっていうところに非常にその人件費であったりとか、スペースの無駄に、悩まれている方が多いことに気づきまして。
The lunchboxes are delivered by Star Festival staff. There is no cost to the restaurant. On this day, lunchboxes are being delivered to a board meeting of a startup firm in Shibuya. The reheatable high-end fare costs over $30 each.
むちゃくちゃ今日は豪華ですね。
They use this service about once a week. The reason?
網羅性が高いので、そういった意味ではこのサービスを一つ使えゴチクルさんを使うことによって、ほとんどのお弁当が分かるので、それはすごい便利ですね。
The company checks the taste of every new lunchbox on the menu. They sign up 10 to 20 new restaurants every month. Sales have grown threefold from a year ago.
新しい販路、新しい選択肢として僕たちのような、販路をですね選択していただいて、手応えとしてはまだまだ本当に何百倍もの、マーケットサイズがあると思います。
The efficient use of downtime can also be seen in other industries. 3 p.m. Printing machines are being started up. They are usually shut down during this time.
印刷機はやはり、どれだけ回すかが、鍵となりますので、昼夜基本的には回るような形で、予定を組んでおります。
This company mainly prints brochures and is especially busy during the end of the year. Operations vary widely depending on the season.
4月5月になってくるとだいぶ空きが目立ってしまうので、この部分をどう埋めるか。
Seeing a potential business opportunity in the idle time for such machines is another startup firm, Raksuru. 28-year-old Yasukane Matsumoto founded the company 4 years ago.
印刷会社さんをネットワーク化して、それぞれ得意な生産設備を持った印刷会社の非稼働時間を使わせていただいて、まさにその非稼働な時間ですね、そこを埋めるというところをコンセプトとして、やっているからこそ実現する。
They've been able to offer low prices by utilizing the downtime at printing plants. This system allows 100 name cards to be sold for a little more than $5. They work with small and mid-sized printing companies. On this day, they are meeting with potential partners. This company offers address printing for direct mail advertisements. The purpose of the meeting is to find out their business scope and equipment utilization rate.
季節による、需要の、変動であったり、曜日による変動であったり、この辺りって
どうしてもその季節的なところで集中をする。当然、一時的に稼働率が下がるということもあり得ます。
They say Raksuru allows them to use their downtime more efficiently.
ラクスルさんのターゲットとするお客様がスモールオフィスであります。私どもはそういったところに対して営業をかける、リソースを持っていない。
They agree to become a subcontractor starting from April. There are similar moves elsewhere as well. It's after 7 a.m. People start arriving at a movie theater in Yurakucho, Tokyo. The reason?
朝食食べながら人とコミュニケーションをとって、何か自分のプラスアルファになるものがあれば。
This is called School by Film Method. Events are held before regular hours at movie theaters. Started last December, they offer videography lectures. On this day, a discussion about a marketing book written by a well-known copywriter, Tetsuya Kawakami, is being shown. "150 people are in attendance, from office workers to students and homemakers."
仕事に対しても前向きになってすごいいい一日のスタートダッシュもできる。
The cost is about $15, with breakfast included. Afterwards, participants can exchange information.
日劇のような映画館の場合は、上映する映画とか、回数がもう限られているので、なんとかその限られた時間の中で新しい収益の柱を見つけたいなと思って。
Better utilization of idle time. Entrepreneurs continue to mine the old economy for new value and opportunities.
My parents work at a really great company, which makes cool computers and LCD TVs. Not only that, they build elevators for skyscrapers and zooming fast bullet trains. My mom designs the company's CT scan systems, which spot diseases. My dad develops power generation systems so people will have plenty of electricity. The company where my parents work is Toshiba.
Has anybody finished doing their pictures?
I have.
All around the world, Toshiba technology is hard at work, bringing smarter, faster, more sustainable development to life.
When I grow up, I want to work for people.
For a growing future, Toshiba.
Hey, look at this. They're building a huge steel plant with Kobelco technology.
Kobelco? Never heard of it.
It's Japanese. They can make iron with incredible speed. What once took 8 hours can be done in just 10 minutes.
Wow, the Japanese are incredible. The country of karate.
Ha! 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 Karate has nothing to do with it.
True. The talk of the world. Kobelco.
ยังจำได้หรือเปล่านะเรื่องต่างๆที่เกิดขึ้นตอนวาดรูปนี้แต่ถ้ารถยนต์ในฝันของฉันมีจริงฉันคงจะมีความสุขมากเลย
Changing emissions from copper refineries into fertilizer. That is where Sumitomo Chemical got its start. For 100 years, we've been delivering the power of chemistry around the world. And we will continue to help make the world a better place for the next 100 years and more.
You're watching Channel Japan. In our next segment, we'll be bringing you a story about how a Japanese-made electric motorbike is taking on the global market. Have a look.
Dubai, an economic center of the Middle East. The city is home to numerous high-rises and luxury cars. It is here that a certain exhibition is being held.
大きな翼のように扉が上がっていきます。おお。
This event showcases exclusive products. Among the many exhibitors is a single Japanese company. December 2012. The Daikoku Pier serves as a transit point for marine cargo from around the world. A vehicle arrives at the building of a shipping firm. Inside is a motorbike. Its shape is futuristic, almost as if straight out of an anime. This motorbike, with its atypical design, is called Zeku. The first test run was held in February 2012. Its main feature is the unmistakable engine sound. This is an electric motorbike. It has a motor but no engine, allowing for versatile designs. Since almost all of the parts used aren't available on the market, they're made from scratch by small and mid-sized firms. The latest Zeku is black and gold, specially colored for its trip to Dubai.
日本人が作ったオートバイっていうのはなかなか本当に手作りのものってなかなか外に出ないからいろんな企業さんと努力して一生懸命作ったんで。
It's packed with extra care.
包むとこを見せていただくと
Watching over the process is Kota Nezu, in charge of planning and design. He is a former Toyota designer. He is highly regarded for developing the single-seat electric car, i-Unit, which was unveiled at the Aichi World Expo in 2005. Since leaving Toyota, he has been working as a designer for various products. Recently, he developed a miniature four-wheel car for plastic model maker Tamiya. Mr. Nezu decided to send his motorbike to Dubai after getting a request from an exhibition organizer.
展示会の名前はビッグボーイズトイズっていう展示会で、大きな少年のおもちゃっていうとんでもない名前の展示会なんですよね。とにかく珍しいものとか値段はいいと。でもとにかく珍しいものを持ってこい。
Zeekr is priced at $140,000. Will they succeed in finding a buyer? Dubai has developed at an especially rapid pace, even among its fast-growing peers in the United Arab Emirates. In the city center, construction is speeding ahead, with the economy regaining momentum following the so-called Dubai shock in 2009.
All the hotels are full, okay, all the beaches are full, the city is full.
Well, I'm very lucky. I get an increase every year in my salary.
Dubai's economic development is symbolized by the Palm Jumeirah. The exhibition is being staged at its tip. It's the day before the opening. Zeekr has finally arrived in Dubai after a 45-day journey across the ocean. Secured inside this container, it is intact and ready to go. An electric bike from Japan is about to test its muscle in the international market. Its unusual design attracts the attention of other exhibitors. It's day one of the exhibition.
いや武者震い系の感じはありますけど大丈夫です。
Past the main entrance, we find the booth for Zeekr. Since they are the only participant from Japan, the organizers put them in a section with maximum exposure. The first potential customer is the son of the ruler of Dubai. Zeekr catches his eye. But he walks by without stopping. Although it fails to impress royalty, other visitors soon stop by.
Would you like to buy?
Yeah? You have to if you want to live here. How much? Dollar? 140,000 US dollar. 420,000 dirham. Very unique bike. Yes, only one. Okay, thank you so much.
It generates interest, but there are no buyers. Like the Zeekr, every exhibit here is beyond the norm.
こちらはイタリアのメーカーアルファロメオがベースのカスタムカーです。特徴的なのは1枚の大きな扉なんですが、こちらどうやって開くかと言いますと、まるで大きな翼のように扉が上がっていきます。
A sports car modeled on an eagle. The price? Nearly $3 million.
So if you wanted to get fresh air during the drive, what we can do?
Stop the car, open the door, close the door, and drive again. Yeah.
And this 101-carat diamond-studded Bentley. The hood sparkles under the sun. Meanwhile, this piano covered in 24-karat gold leaf is over $2 million. There is even food. This is gold leaf infused olive oil. This is an expo exceeding all convention. So why was Zeku invited?
So when we were doing research for unique innovations, we went on the website of Zeeco and we realized that they have this very unique product designed by engineers. And I'm seeing the product now. This is 100 times better than what I expected it to be.
The first day ends with few leads.
今日何人かいらっしゃったんですけども、ちょっとコンタクト先を教えてくれとか、かなりこう詳細に聞いてこられた方がいらしたので、メールですとか電話ですとか、そういう形で今後つなげていくっていうことだと思います。
Mr. Nezu returns to Japan. For some reason, he seems in high spirits.
パッといらしたお客様で、ちょっと両家のご子息なんですけども、欲しいみたいな、買うみたいな、今お金払っていいの、カードがいいの、現金がいいのみたいな勢いで買ってくださって、この方ですね。これ何ですか？
An hour before closing, this man stopped by.
話をしている時。
He said he was from a famous and affluent local family. On the contract, he listed his address simply as Dubai.
確実に言えるのは、1000万のバイクを持ってっても驚かない人たちはいっぱいいるっていうことは間違いないです。マーケティングをしてそこの市場にフィットしたものを出していくっていうこともありなんですけれども、こういう言い方はなんですけど、でも作りたいものを作って欲しい人を探していくっていう、そういうやり方っていうのは本当に通じるというふうに思いました。
Crossing the ocean, an electric motorbike crafted by the skilled technicians of a little-known company is gearing up for its next global challenge.
Electric motorbikes certainly seem to be a growing market.
That seems to be the case. According to Pike Research in the US, global sales of electric motorcycles and scooters are forecast to increase from 17 million units in 2011 to 138 million units by 2017.
Wow, that much.
Yes, that much.
Well, I understand there are quite a lot of initiative by Japanese government and businesses as well to drive this market.
Yes, you're right. Practical trials are being launched across the country, and just the other day, the city of Kamakura, which is near Tokyo, also began tests on the feasibility of sharing batteries. Now, I have a picture over here. Now, the bikes are used for inner city transportation, and when the batteries need to be charged, you just simply remove them. Now, up to now, batteries were mostly built into motorbikes, which made recharging difficult and troublesome.
So how many of these bikes are actually on the streets of Kamakura?
Well, they have a fleet of 30 electric motorbikes spread out across 15 stations in the city, and also battery charging lockers are set up at 5 locations, including the city office and gasoline stations. So you can use them just in case your battery runs out.
Right.
And another thing is that users of smartphones can receive information on when they need to change their batteries and where they can do that.
Well, that's quite convenient. Well, combining these bikes with information technology will definitely make them more convenient to use.
I think so. I'd love to give it a try.
Right, me too. Well, that brings us to the end of this episode of Channel Japan. We have much more in store for you, so join us again next week.
Mitsubishi Electric is helping to change the environment for the better around the world.
Green subway systems in India.
Green air conditioning systems in Singapore.
Eco changes for a greener tomorrow. Mitsubishi Electric.
The view is almost like peering down on the star-filled night sky at your feet. It's the city at night seen from a height of 450 meters. Make unforgettable memories. city light stretching for as far as the eye can see. Find it at Tokyo Skytree.
On the train to the sky with Spacia. More than you expect.
The search is on to discover the next creative master of Asia. Japan's leading TV and radio network TBS brings to you the Digicon 6 Awards, giving visual artists in Asia an opportunity to create their dreams. Whether it's a short drama, animation, or music video, if it's yours, you may be the next winner of the Digicon 6 Grand Prize. For more details, check out digicon6.com. It's time to create your dreams.